Hey guys, it's your boy Kirby here. So this video is a bit different. I know everyone's been excited about the Switch 2 being, announced and whatnot, and it's starting to look worse and worse as the days go on, boys. Um, like, we're talking $80 for Mario Kart Bad, and gaming just recently had a price increase on AAA titles to a new $70 standard. And they're already trying to push another increase on us. Um, as for gameplay, I'm assuming it's just Mario Kart. I mean, it's how are you going to justify this title? This price point for this title? I mean, it's just ridiculous. On top of that, the new Nintendo Switch, the Switch 2, is supposed to be about 450 USD, which is a lot, especially with the way the economy's heading. We're on the brink of another, stock market crash, and Nintendo's over here trying to sell people who are living paycheck to paycheck on a system that costs as much as a PS4, PS5, and they're trying to sell it to us like that, when for the same price, if not just a little bit more, you can get like a Steam Deck device, which plays a lot more games, including, emulators and stuff, meaning there's such a backlog. Like, they're trying to they could stick on the Switch architecture. No one's been asking for a new Switch, more or less just new games. I mean, why do we need to keep with it's just not feasible. And then the games they're selling us for more are ports of old games even. I mean, if you look at stuff like was it Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze? It had a $20 release. It started as 40, then went to 20. Now it's 60 on the Switch. I mean, I appreciate the backwards compatibility, don't get me wrong, but this isn't an upgrade from Game Boy Color to Game Boy Advanced. This is an upgrade from Game Boy to Game Boy Color. It's messy. It's not a real upgrade. It's just a feature or two. And lately when they've been adding features, they've been removing a lot. Like, I remember 3DS had customizable home screen menu. You can make folders, you can move stuff around just with ease. And the Switch has a touchscreen, so, I mean, a lot of this stuff still makes sense to, keep. I mean, and it's aggravating, because, we're expected to piddle out all our peanuts were paid just for an uninspired, lackluster system that's going to cost way more than just sticking with an older system. It's going to, be filled with subscription services, which, I mean, I get it. I have at least one or two. But I'm not going to pay for, Game Pass, Nintendo Switch Online, all that together. Especially when, they're trying to take away ownership of games. A lot of the digital stuff they're selling as just licenses. And one of the stupidest things they're going to start doing is selling cartridges that don't have the game on it, just the access key. Which, who asked for that? That is just scummy. I mean, hell, just give us a code at that point. And I get collectors, they're going to buy this stuff, and it irks me. But, I mean, for the regular people, we'll vote with your wallet. Let's get some GameCube numbers. Let's get some, Virtual Boy numbers. Like, they shouldn't be allowed, to just go after our wallets like that. I mean, it's just disgusting. I mean, and if you look at, like, not even that long ago, during the Wii through Wii U and 3DS era, hell, even the DS era, Nintendo was starting to, be more open with its fans. We had Nintendo Directs. Who doesn't miss all those good times? We had Reggie. My Body is Ready, Reggie. And, they were a lot more open with, the people who, buy their games, who play their games. And now, what do we have? I know Iwata's gone, rest in peace. And Reggie retired. So now we get this guy in Nintendo of America named Doug Bowser. And with a name like that, you think he would be a good fit, right? No, he's actually the villain. This dude is like a PR hologram. He's worthless. He is actually worthless to the consumer. Like, oh, I'm actually angry. And it's not just stuff like that. We also get, companies like PlayStation, Xbox. They are removing features. They're trying to force constant online connectivity. And they're even trying to get rid of, human developers, which, I mean, AI is good to work alongside them, sure. But, when you start removing the human element, you are going to lose a lot of that magic. And, it's sad, because, like, they're just trying to squeeze every nickel and dime. Sony is removing content out of people's, movie libraries on their PlayStation because of licensing, which I don't understand, because if you own it, you should own it. It shouldn't be taken away. And all this is doing is creating lost media and spitting in the face of preservation. They've made it clear they don't want to preserve history. They just want to keep shoveling more slop onto the table and saying, eat. It's fucking disgraceful. And, like, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I'm barely able to even put a little bit into my savings. And at the rate inflation's going, it's just stagnating. And they're expecting us to drop money like that on just actual trash. Like, sure, the hardware may be good, but, they're adamantly against homebrewing, at least every company except for, like, Xbox. If they still have the Dev Pass thing, that was, like, the best thing ever. You could throw RetroArch onto an Xbox One. Pretty freaking neat. But, and it's just like, they don't want their games to be played, and, because people then are going to see, oh, this was good. And it's just like, and if they do release any, their retro games, it's normally in, like, this, it's either this, like, slow, inconsistent drip feed to some cruddy, not streaming, subscription service. Or they're bundling them, not even putting all the games on the cartridge or disc, and making, like, half of it just downloads, which doesn't make sense, because these games we're talking are minuscule compared to cartridges. Hell, if they wanted, I'm sure Nintendo could literally fit every NES ROM onto a cartridge and just release it. Just because it would fit. I'm licensing outside of that. There's no excuse for this. Now, if it's a couple PlayStation 2 games, Sure, you might need a little bit of a bigger cartridge, but like, I don't get it. I actually don't get it. And I know it's because these suits up top are paid to just help these shareholders or whatever, which is a whole different issue I don't even want to get into in this video. But no, it actually is kind of the whole thing. It's all because of these like shareholders just trying to suck every last penny out of us. And I've seen online more and more people are starting to get it. I mean, some ordinary gamers. It's the whole reason I'm even making this video. Mudahar, was talking about this stuff, and it's like, yes, no, I feel this rage. I want to put this rage out there. I am PO'd. Like, gaming is supposed to be, a form of art, form of escape, a form of therapy in a sense. No different than like a movie or a TV show. And like, and it's like, these same issues are bleeding into every other form of media. Except for what? Paintings? We're getting all this uninspired slop for exorbitant amounts of price. Like, this is bad. This is just awful. And like, games used to be deep back in the day. You had your Pokemon Black and Whites. You had your, Pokemon Black and Whites. You had your, like, Twilight Princesses. You had your... Hell, even Link's Awakening, to some extent, really touched on some existential thoughts. They made you think. It wasn't just... It's New Super Mario Bros. Bah, bah. It was just stuff. It was content. It was good. And, we still do get games like that. Don't get me wrong. But it seems most of them are coming from indie developers that don't have these corporate pressures bogging down just everything. But even these indie developers, they're being forced into doing, like, timed exclusivity deals where their game's only available on one console for, like, a quarter of a year to a year. Which is just dumb. Microsoft's over here gobbling up every studio in sight. And, the Nintendo's just being tone deaf. Like, they can't read a room. Because, yes, everyone loves Nintendo games right now. Because they're cheap, they're affordable for the most part. And, if you buy a Nintendo, it's for Nintendo games. It's not necessarily the third-party stuff you're after. Because if you're after the third-party stuff, you'd be getting an Xbox or a PlayStation, or hell, probably even a PC, which is what I would recommend. That's what I'm gaming on. And, people are just so... They're so used to just being fed this slop that people are becoming desensitized to it. They see, like, get, like, 60 games for $10 a month. That sounds like a good deal, sure. Until you realize that most of those games are like $1 a piece. You're not going to like all the games there. And by the time you pick out the ones you like, you realize, I could have just bought them. Like, it's maddening. This has just turned into an unintelligible rant at this point. And we're locked in. But I mean, like... And... it's like, sure. Some consoles failed just because of, they're just trying to overreach. I mean, look at Atari with just market flooding, right? Nintendo created a lockout chip. Kind of fixed the issue there. Jump forward. And then we look at what the GameCube failed. And that's because it was using proprietary media discs instead of, the massive size holding DVD, CDs, whatever that PlayStation and Xbox were using. Entering the Wii. They added something fun that, old people could even get into. They were smart enough to carry that along to the Wii U and Switch. The Wii U died because of poor marketing. It just seemed like a Wii upgrade to a lot of people, and that's what the Switch 2 really is. It is a Wii U. It's unnecessary, not asked for. There's probably going to be like 10 people who love the games that are on it, myself included. But the kicker here is, most of those really good Wii U games either got put on the Switch or the 3DS. Because the ecosystem they built for them was bad, and this is going to be another bad ecosystem. I think the Switch 2 is just, unless they throw Steam on there, I don't see any justification for it. It's unnecessary, it's unwanted, and it's just going to... I hope it causes a gaming market crash. I want to see the gaming market crash. Outside of Steam, PC, GOG, hell, even Epic. Outside of those, I want to see consoles crash for a while. I want to see these companies try to, use... Oh, yeah, no, we're bringing everything back physical. Giving a physical option as because it's needed. And all these people who are just, buying these digital consoles, I get it. If you're only in it for 1 or 2 games, makes sense, sure. Until you realize that, if my console dies, there goes that. If I don't remember my password, I am SOL. Whereas you get a disc, you can use it on the new console. No issue. You might have lost your save data, sure, but you got the game immediately ready to go. And I don't know. I think that it's unnecessary. It's stupid. It's taking advantage of the consumers worse than... God, when eggs are 50 cents an egg, what the hell are you doing? Saying, now it's time for a $450 console. People can't afford it. You guys are tone deaf, and even if you bring the price down, all I see it doing is just putting a stain on your name. All the DMCA bullshit you guys do. It's just putting a stain on your name, Nintendo. Then, I don't know. Maybe Doug Bowser will see this. Maybe he will hear what I have to say. And if he's listening, do better. Just do better. Quit being just this lifeless puppet. And I'm not telling anyone here to go harass anyone. Do not, go after any names I mentioned. That shouldn't even have to be said. But, just do better, Doug Bowser. Reggie is fondly remembered. You? No. People don't like you. I hope you know that. I hope you look in the mirror each day and just ask why. And maybe you'll figure it out. But you can't just keep nickel and diming people. It's just disgusting. Sorry, I just had to vent this out, guys. If anything, I hope you all have a beautiful day ahead of you. I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.